session is on mental health and well-being under the theme Health, Safety and Environment. All organizations have safety management systems with associated checks and balances and monitoring mechanisms. But we find that accidents do happen. They say that to err is human because humans are not machines. So they are subjected to moods, emotions, fatigue, boredom, distractions. They are also continuously learning, evolving, and improving. They are also slaves of habits, complacency, and normalization of deviance, what we call accepting things which are suboptimal. So all these things happen when humans are involved. So one of the factors that has been neglected or that goes below the radar in all our trainings and competency development programs is the impact of mental health on work and safety. The COVID period brought about the importance of mental health, the isolation, job losses, and the deaths of close ones all brought into focus this aspect. And most organizations have quickly realized the impact of mental health and arranged counseling for their employees and their families. Today we have four presentations on the topic of mental health and human factors in HSC. The first one is by Shri Shivendra Parihar, Joint Director, Oil Industry Safety Directorate. He will talk about importance of human factors to improve HSC performance. Mr. Parihar is an oil and gas professional from EIL with over 18 years of experience and is presently on deputation to Oil Industry Safety Directorate OISD. Mr. Parihar, please.
Respected Chair, my fellow speakers and delegates. Thank you, Murthy sir, for my introduction. I represent here Oil Industry Safety Directorate, and I'll be speaking about human factors in HSC performance. In OSD, we are involved in incident investigation of various incidents happening in Indian oil and gas sector, and based on our reporting data we have and data available worldwide, we can say one thing, that human factors plays a vital role in HSE assurance and maintaining good health, safety, and environment practices. In coming slides, we will see few data related to incidents in Indian industry, and there I would like to prove that this plays an important role. I'll start my presentation with brief introduction of OISD. OISD is a technical directorate under Ministry of Petroleum and Natural Gas. It takes care of issues related to safety in oil and gas industry. OISD was established in 1986 by the Act of Parliament. We are around 50 working professionals from various disciplines: mechanical engineer, process engineer, fire engineer, electrical engineer, different section: E&P, refineries, petrochemical, gas processing plant, marketing locations, pipelines. And we have MOUs with, you can see on the screen, World LPG Association, American Petroleum Institute, UL, and CCPS. What we do, our main job is to conduct safety audits, compliance of recommendation of those audits. The second thing is most important thing we do, we prepare, develop safety standard. Currently, we have around 110 safety standard, which covers entire hydrocarbon industry, E&P, P&D, refineries, pipeline, marketing, and related to occupational safety, design safety, instrument safety, electrical safety, work permit safety, everything, safety management system, we cover each and everything. Then we conduct accident investigation. We are working as interface between ministry and industry for safety related issues. We conduct workshops, seminar, conferences. Generally, we have data related to gaps in entire industry. We have data related to learnings from incident of entire industry. So we analyze them and dissipate among all the industries. Our Suraksha Samvad is very popular program for this. Then recently we have started internal HSE auditors training where we go to companies, we train their officers to carry out internal audits. This is the data I was talking about. If you see, this is related to incident happened in India in last 5 years. If you see the pie chart, disregard of SOP and inadequate supervision, they are covering more than 50% of the chart, and both are related to human factor. If you add another thing, inadequate competence, negligent driving, that goes beyond 60%. So this is fact as on date that human factor plays a vital role, or you can say in behind the most of the incident, human factor related gaps are identified during our investigations. To set the context, I would like to share few case studies. This case study is related to fatal accident in a refinery during crane operation. In a project site and project material storage was around 200-300 meter away from the project area. And generally, what was the practice? Small items like piping fabricated spool, structure fabricated items and members and a few walls. They were transported through Farana crane by pick and carry position to project site from storage location. You can, through this schematic, you can see this is the route of Farana crane. Arrow can show. After a road, means project construction site. They have to take left turn to go to project construction. And there's normal route from storage area to construction site. So during one fine day during movement turning location, then with that Farana, one operator was there and one rigger was there who was holding the rope to balance the load. So at turning location, rigger was hit by Farana crane and came under its front tire, and later he died. He was taken to hospital, but later he died. When we investigated, we observed that the Farana crane operator did not have adequate experience. Means his license to operate crane was just 2 months old. This incident happened during lunchtime. Most of other co-workers were on lunch break, and this operator and rigger were also getting late for lunch. As per material movement SOP, this pick and carry activity through crane was not allowed. So this was disregard of SOP also, lack of experience also, and this hurriness also. They were in hurry. Root cause. There were a number of root causes, the number of causes, but relevant cause are the inadequate experience and hurriness. They both joined, and they were the reason of this incident. The trailer, if you see in previous slide, there was a trailer parked. The trailer parked in the Farana crane movement. So what happened after just taking left turn, the operator had to take slightly right, or he had to take king towards right side in that activity, and he was driving fast because they were getting late. So load was swung, and the rigger might have not controlled the load, and somehow he came under the Farana crane and died. So it is established that experience, skills, disregard of SOP were the reason. Second case study, it happened during M&I shutdown in a hydrocracker unit. In that unit, there was a air cooler. Few tubes were replaced in that air cooler, and after that, hydro testing was in process. So during hydro test, it was 2 a.m. around in night, and during hydro test inspection, observed few leaks from few tube plugs. Actually, this pressurization, was being done multiple times, because every time they were pressurizing, few leaks were observed, and they were repairing again. So this activity was going on since long. So all workers were even frustrated also. So during that hydro testing, a loud sound was heard, and worker fell from the fin fan cooler platform. It was 14.405 meter, and later he was succumbed to his injuries. When we investigated, we found that the worker who died, he has performed his duty for more than 16 hours. There was no supervision. I have written lack of supervision, but there was no supervision. Toolbox talks, GSAs were not conducted for that particular activity, and that too that was being done at night also. And studied procedure SMP of this kind of high pressure, because this hydro test pressure was 256 kg. High pressure was not available. So relevant root cause were the lack of skill. That was contract worker, and he did not know about the risk involved, hazard involved in the job. And due to his frustration, because this particular work was going on since long, he might have got frustrated and he attempted to tighten the plug to arrest the leak, but accidentally he might have loosened it. And due to continuous work hours or resulting fatigue, the injured person might have thought the finishing job by tightening the bolts, and these were the reason behind this incident. So they all are human factor related. How human factors affect our day-to-day activity? Sometimes we do not possess required skill, experience. We are not adequate trained for the some particular job. Sometimes we lack in communication. We are not giving clear-cut instruction. Sometimes we are in hurry. So communication gap is also there. Supervision plays a very important role. Supervisors are link between management and the uh, workers. So, and workers mostly are not trained and for the job. So supervisor plays a very important. So effective supervision, if it is not available, then there are chances to gap. Sometimes we work in a system where we operate with very minimum manpower or some lesser manpower. In that case, if someone is absent, so overtime is the only option, and that overtime, long working hours create fatigue among the employees. Own methods. Most of the time we have seen that people working a job since last 10, 15 years or 5 years, they think the way they are working is the best way to perform that activity. In many incidents, we have seen heater related incident that people are starting up the furnaces without lightening the pilot gas. Though if you see their SOPs, it is clearly mentioned that pilot should be operated first, but since decades they are doing this and they feel this is the correct way, but accident do happen in this. Attitude also plays important role. Sometimes we are casual about the work, sometimes we are very alert about the work. So these are the factors which are related to human communication, and they affect our day-to-day activity. So what are the focus area management or organization should pay attention to improve HSE performance? They are safety culture, competency assurance, SOP compliance, supervision, alarm management, communication, and manpower management. I'll go through one by one. Culture, every organization should conduct safety culture from top to bottom at every level, and they should identify assessment of perception of safety within their employees, and based on that they can identify some leading and lagging indicators, and those like leading and lagging indicators can be monitored continuously. Few indicators can be leading indicators: internal and external safety audit, timely maintenance of equipment, reporting of unsafe act and unsafe condition. So these are the things as a leading indicator they can monitor. Lagging indicator: lost time incidents, accident, fatalities, if any particular trend is coming through in unsafe act and unsafe condition. Leadership, top leadership including board member should be also be part of safety perception survey, because if they are able to understand the safety awareness level among the organization, they can take better decision, they can have realistic expectation, they can deploy resources, deploy manpower, they can take decision during emergency. That all they can do, because if something is being implemented from the top, it is very easy to get implemented. Some policies coming from the top. And these assessment survey should be benchmarked against few international models are available. I have shown the picture of DuPont model. There is Hudson model also. This is 4-stage model which takes you from reactive approach to interdependent approach. So these are model. The assessment records should be benchmarked against this. In organization, HSE department should directly report to head of the organization, either directly or through some corporate HSE, to avoid conflict of interest. So this whole will develop a safety culture ecosystem, so that means awareness will be there, leadership will also be wending towards safety, and there will not be any safety violations. Competency. First, the working group. Recently, government has ministry has formulated a working group to assess the HSE in oil and gas sector, and that working group has also recommended these kind of things. Every organization should have competency criteria for each role and each level. There should be three dimensional grid. One is related to technical competence, one is basic requirement, and one is behavioral competence. Once you have competence requirement for each and every level, then companies should map each and every employees with respect to that competence criteria and identify what trainings are required. Once training need identification is done, then train them, retrain them, refresher training, and assessment of training before handover takeover. OISD guideline 206 and OISD standard 178 also give emphasis on MOC personnel, change of manpower, MOC to be done. During training, we can use technology, 3D simulation, and augmented reality, these kind of things we can implement. Then knowledge sharing, LFIs, learning from incident happening anywhere. We can update our system based on that. And in SOP compliance, availability of SOP, accessibility of SOP, then and these should be prepared by subject matter expert. Once they are available, then their verification through safety audits, third party audits, independent audit, and timely review of those SOP based on learning from an incident, based on new technology, based on change in any process. I'll quick through fast. Supervisors play a very important role. They are linked between management and worker, and they know better. They are much aware about the HSE understanding, practices, their skills of the workers. So if supervision is proper, then they can take part in planning. They can rightly allocate the work based on the skill and experience. They can closely monitor health and safety performance. They can raise issue of laborers, workers to higher management if they are facing some problem. They can communicate in their language, their dialect, and they can give emphasis on compliance with procedure. Uh, Next is communication. Communication, generally we have seen that there are lots of gaps in communication. Sometimes intent is proper, but transmission is not proper. Sometimes interpretation is wrong. Sometimes recipient has received some wrong. So uh, logbook should be properly filled. There should be adequate swap time in handover, takeover, and shift changeover. To the point instruction, communication in local language with the workers, feedback system should be there, and listeners to ask the question. Last is alarm management. Company should rationalize their alarms, and if there is no action, there should not be any alarm. Alarm should be categorized based on low priority, high priority, and medium priority. And there are guidelines from ISA, International Society of Automation, EEMUA. Those are giving guidelines for the rationalization alarm. Time is limited, so this. Thank you.
That was an interesting presentation. I talked about fatigue and how it's impacting safety in the organization. He also talked about safety culture, leadership, and commitment. We now have a different type of presentation in the sense that the topic is use of robotic scavenging machines for internal cleaning and inspection of petroleum storage tanks at oil refineries. This is by Dr. Sandeep Sharma. All of us know that one of the confined space entry is a area of hazard for many in the oil industry, and it leads to accidents. So let's hear this new approach being presented by Dr. Sharma. Dr. Sharma is a medical professional. He's an MB and he's from Indian Oil Corporation. Over to you.
Thank you, Chairperson, sir. My fellow speakers and all the delegates present in this hall. So, as my previous speaker, he has deliberated on how we can eliminate the human factors, which are the major cause of incident, accidents, and even one of the many of the major disasters. They have been the root cause was the human error. So the human error, how we can eliminate from our day-to-day functioning in our oil and gas petroleum sector. So in this, I thought I should speak something about the robotic scavenging machine for internal cleaning of petroleum tanks. which will be a key like intervention for eliminating the human factors in cleaning the petroleum tanks. So, as we all know that cleaning of tanks in oil industry, it is very important, and various types of tanks are there in all our refineries and other divisions, and vessels and pits are also there where we that store the process fluids which contain oil in their composition. So cleaning tanks, vessels and pits containing petroleum residue is an inevitable process in our industry. And the main reason for cleaning the residues is the residue created over the period of time by the setting of the this heavier elements contained in the petroleum product. So the current need in the oil industry in the field of tank cleaning is the use of high efficiency automatic and robotic cleaning methods which aim to increase the safety by preventing entry into the confined spaces, then reduce the tank downing time with highly efficient cleaning methods, and environment friendly with the ability to recover up to 100% of the hydrocarbons present in the composition of the sludge. So, internal cleaning of petroleum tanks, it is carried out to achieve the following objectives like periodic cleaning of removal of the sludge and contaminants, then periodic inspection, maintenance, calibration, breakdown and repair, and the service change of tank to avoid possible decontamination. Now the cleaning schedule of various tanks, it varies. It may vary from 1 year, like in case of aviation product tanks, up to 8 years in case of white oil tanks, like which store MS, HSD, kerosene. So the schedule of tank cleaning varies for different tanks. So cleaning can be more frequent depending upon the need. For example, if we have some change of project or sludge formation, etc. So the frequency of tank cleaning, it varies, and different cleaning methods which are available at present, they are the like the manual method or the conventional method, then the automotive mechanical method, and now robotic is also coming out, which will help in eliminating the human factor in various incidents. So mechanical cleaning, it is labor intensive and low cleaning efficiency is there. High risk of accidents are there, and we require all those very simple equipment, but it is suitable for small tanks. But for automatic and mechanical cleaning, which we do, it reduce the labor requirement and improve the cleaning consistency, then higher cleaning efficiency and fixed nozzle placement. It helps in to reach the complex tanks geometrics, and it required the tank access points. So this was about the mechanical cleaning, and the latest technique which companies now they are trying to imbibe is the robotics. So in this there is no human entry required, and it minimizes the worker exposure to the hazards, and robots they can maneuver to clean complex tank shapes and the tight spaces, and they can be equipped with specialized cleaning tools for different type of sludge. Data collection can be there, like what all cleaning information is available through the robot that can be stored and analyzed. And high initial cost is there because we have to procure this sophisticated equipment, but later on the cost reduction is there in the whole cleaning, tank cleaning process. So the key point to remember is that safety is paramount, and robotic cleaning, it provides a highest level of safety. So if we see the tank cleaning procedure, it involves a lot of groundwork. It involves the pre-planning, training and rescue, setting up of the equipment, removing recoverable products, then removing the remaining products, and tank isolation, followed by vapor and gas freeing of the tank, that is degassing, then atmospheric testing of the tank interior, then cleaning the tank, and then working inside and around the tank, de-isolation, and again recommissioning of the tank. So it is a very like lot of procedures are there, and lot of human involvement is also there in cleaning these tanks. So how we can eliminate this, that we have to think upon. So the health and safety concerns which are there for conventional cleaning method is the risk of exposure of fire, then exposure to the toxic vapors, then oxygen deficiency is there in the confined spaces, then physical hazards like slippage, fall, object from height, then fall of object from height, then damage to environment due to excessive use of water and presence of oil in the sludge, and inconsistent cleaning leading to contamination of the product to be stored in the tank. So the challenges with this conventional cleaning is toxic fume and exfoliation, then fire and explosion hazards, then confined space entry risks, because they are all very restricted space is there for with limited ventilation, and moreover we require occupational health physicians medical fitness certificate also for entering into the confined space, and inconsistent cleaning quality may be there after the cleaning of the tank. Time consuming process, it is a time consuming process, and it consumes higher resources. So these are the disadvantages which I have discussed of the conventional tank cleaning. Now, the robotic scavenging machine for internal cleaning of the petroleum tanks, this is a new development with advantages in automation and AI and remote sensing. Robotic cleaning has evolved into highly specialized job capable of handling complex tank cleaning operations. It enhances the safety, efficiency, and compliance while reducing the downtime and operational costs. Now, the robotic cleaning, tank cleaning, it employs advanced technology to automate the cleaning process, and the system typically consists of remote controlled robots. These robots are designed to navigate within the storage tank, equipped with a specialized tool for cleaning high pressure water jets, powerful jets that dislodge the accumulated sludge and residue, and allowing for thorough cleaning without human intervention. And the vacuum system, once the sludge is dislodged, the sludge is efficiently suctioned out of the tank, ensuring minimal downtime and maximum cleanliness. And the real-time monitoring of the whole process is there, equipped with cameras and sensors, and the robots provide operators with live feeds, ensuring comprehensive coverage and operational oversight. So these are the benefits of robotic tank cleaning in oil and gas industry. It enhances the safety, then it improves the efficiency, then remote monitoring and control is there, and reduce environment impact is also there. Increase speed of the whole process. We can clean the tank in a substantial less time. Then it is cost effective. Superior quality is there of the whole cleaning process, and increased oil recovery is there. So these are the benefits of robotic tank cleaning in oil and gas industry. As I told you, time advantage is there of robotic cleaning over the conventional cleaning. The whole process of emptying the tank, which used to take normally takes 1 to 2 days, degassing takes 2 to 5 days in conventional, but it is not required in robotic. And removal of sludge and collection is in barrels. It normally takes 3 to 8 days in conventional, but only 1 to 2 days in robotics. And any health, there are no health hazards which are associated with the robotic cleaning, while conventional cleaning is there are health hazards because the person has to go inside the tank for cleaning the tank. Now this Bandicoot 2 OR, a robotic scavenger designed for cleaning oil water separator tanks in refineries. So this was designed, and it is being used in Indian Oil Corporation. And the Bandicoot, it is the world's first robotic scavenger, because this was initially designed for cleaning the septic tanks. There were increasing number of deaths because of the sanitation workers while cleaning the septic tanks and the sewers, despite a ban on the manual scavenging. So the solution was the Bandicoot developing a robot for cleaning the sewers and the manholes, uh, where there was maximum deaths due to inhalation of the poisonous gases. So to do away with this manual scavenging and efficiently cleaning the sewage and manholes, this Bandicoot was developed, and under corporate social responsibility, Indian Oil provided the smart robotic scavengers called as Bandicoot to the municipal corporations of several states, and provided training to the workers on how to use these robots for cleaning of the sewers. So these are few pictures which we have how it is being used. Now Bandicoot 2 OR, it was designed for cleaning the this OWS manhole tanks in refineries. OWS consists of an underground pipeline system which is designed to collect and transport the wastewater contaminated with oil and other hydrocarbons from various points within the refinery to a dedicated treatment facility. So cleaning of OWS manhole tanks in refineries were done through conventional cleaning. Earlier it was done through conventional cleaning methods, but Bandicoot 2, the conventional cleaning methods have been replaced with robotic scavenging, and the advantage is it is a flame proof device and the safe for use inside the refinery, and it also provides feature for hydrojetting for cleaning. So this is one demonstration photograph of Bandicoot 2 at our Panipat refinery, and this is how it is. It works for this cleaning of OWS. This sludge, it is taken out, and the oil is recovered from that sludge. So the benefits of this new Bandicoot 2 is the is that there is flexibility in the design to enter the confined space of different size in the refinery, then increase safety as it eliminates the need for any human entry, then high reliability as Bandicoot 2 can operate continuously, performing cleaner task faster and more thoroughly than the human. Then it has got a flame proof design, and remote monitoring and flexibility is there for working of this Bandicoot. So thank you very much, and this was about the how we can eliminate the human errors and the human factor in causing accident which or incidents inside the refineries in our oil and gas industry, and this robotic cleaning of the sewage tanks of the OWS tanks and the tanks in refineries and other divisions. It will eliminate the risks, and it will uh, fasten the cleaning process, and it will give a better cleaning and recovery of the oil from the sludge. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you, Dr. Thank you, Dr. Sandeep. It was very interesting presentation, and it's a demonstration that we have moved on from manual scavenging to uh, using of robotic cleaning. We still continue to have incidents in the industry on confined spaces where deaths have been happening due to asphyxiation. I think this solution industry should adopt quickly and use it for all tank cleaning jobs. So we have a very interesting presentation now by Mr. S. Ramesh. He's general manager in ONGC, and he's a mechanical engineer. He's not a medical professional, but he's going to talk about a very interesting topic, in the sense that he's going to talk about alternative therapies and healing. These have been existing in our Indian society for thousands of years, but they have been out of scientific community and business discussions. So he's trying to bring a factor on how this certain factors, what we call chakras and energy centers, healing them, how it can improve mental health industrial workers. So it's a new topic, and it's very unusual to have this topic in such a forum. But I urge all of you to take it with an open mind and see. Outside this, in our personal life, all of us are familiar with these topics, but not in a scientific way. Over to Mr. Ramesh.
Thank you very much. Respected Chair, my colleagues, and respected delegates, I wish to thank IEW committee for selecting this presentation and my company ONGC for sponsoring this program. Today's topic covers mind and psychosomatic orders, emotions, mind neurobic principles, 7 energy centers, understanding the Pancha Prana and energy centers, and the basics of mind neurobics. This is a new topic, and I wish to inform that the informations and recommendations presented are basically based on my individual personal experience and the references from the respective field. Presenter does not dispense any medical advice. I am not a medical practitioner basically. So, application of these informations and recommendations presented may be undertaken at individual's risk, and you must take this as a general practice in addition to a value for keeping oneself healthy both physically and mentally. With this note, I will start with the definition for health in nutshell is nothing but balancing the 5 tattvas, that is the 5 universal elements. So the 5 universal elements everybody knows: air, earth, water, fire and ether. So my company has also following the same thing for a sustainable future by balancing the 5 tattvas. So with addition of this, my presentation will be more concentrating on balancing the 5 tattvas to get a holistic health and well-being. So before going further, we must know that our body is a miniature of the 5 tattvas, and mind is the software and our body is the hardware. So mind creates thought process which is positive as well as negative. Positive creates endorphins, cheerful situations, and the negative thoughts, which are basically due to emotions on the negative side, leads to grief, anger, stress, fear, etc. And the diseases are caused mainly due to psychosomatic disorders purely because of the mind. So you can see how the emotion is leading to the various diseases. If a person is frequently getting angry, he will have issues with the liver, and if he is having grief, the individual will have lungs issue. Worrisome person will have always acidity and stomach issues. The stress continuously leads to heartburn and brain issues, and the fear, when it is persistent, leads to kidney trouble. So being we understood about the emotions are causing the diseases, psychosomatic disorders, we have to think how we can balance these emotions, because a person cannot live without emotions. So we have to modify the emotions to fit to our requirement. So mind neurobics is a simple technique, is an exercise for the mind which regulates the universal flow of energy or the basic universal energy which is called as prana. It revitalizes the body, mind and spirit. Basically, it deals primarily with unblocking the flow of energy or the bioelectric current, which is the basic cause of the psychosomatic diseases. These psychosomatic diseases are basically due to negative thought process. How this is happening and how the mind neurobics does the wonders, we will see in the subsequent slides. So in nutshell, mind neurobics is a combination of three techniques with mudras, colors, and mantra. Mudra is a specific posture using the fingers, and colors and mantras are subsequently dealt to combine to get the resultant uh, success of controlling the mind. So before going further, we have to understand certain principles of mind neurobics. So first one is mudra. To understand the mudra, we have to go for understanding the energy centers. So energy centers are nothing but chakras which carry the universal energy, that is a prana. So as I said in the first slide itself, we are governed by the Panchatatvas. The universal elements are flowing in our body in the form of a bioelectric current. So in our body there are more than 1000 chakras, but predominantly we have 7 chakras in our body. 3 lower chakras are primary needs fulfilling chakras, and the remaining 4 chakras are for mental and physical well-being. So we will go one by one. So the first one is the Muladhara chakra, which is connected with the earth element, and here the color for the earth element is red color. So it is located in the base of the spine, and any imbalance is leading to arthritis, bone issues, muscle problems, muscle cramps, etc. Now we will go a little bit above from the Muladhara chakra, approximately 2 inches above. Muladhara chakra is a Swadhisthana chakra, which is connected with the universal element of water. And the color in this location is orange, and any imbalance in this issue, in this area, causes water or the fluid related issues in the body, that is urinary infections, urine related things, immunity, excretory system issues. Going further, we have the Manipura chakra just above the Swadhisthana chakra. This is the area where the digestion takes place, so near solar plexus, and the color is yellow, and it is connected with stomach, liver, intestine, spleen, and pancreas. So imbalance in this area due to anger, fear, etc. leads to indigestion, acidity, and obesity, and other problems related to digestion. Now above the Manipura chakra is Anahata chakra, that is heart chakra, that is connected with air. So heart, lungs, and chest are connected here, and the color in this area is green. Imbalance in our air element in our body causes blood pressure, cholesterol, bronchitis, and cardiac failure. Now comes the throat chakra above the heart chakra, which is directly connected with the space element. So it leads to the ENT issues if it is not balanced properly, and even thyroid and frequent common cold. Here the color is sky blue color. Now comes the Ajna chakra, what is called as eyebrow chakra, which is in between our eyebrows. So willpower is the governing factor here. Imbalance in this causes brain disorder, nervous system, eye issues, and Parkinson disease. Now the last one, the topmost one, is the crown chakra or Sahasrara chakra. It is straight away connected with the space element, and it's governing the brain and endocrinal glands. Any imbalance causes memory loss and hormonal disturbances. Having understood the energy centers, we have to go for the further next step, that is Pancha Prana. We are having 5 pranas in our body which circulates the all activities, and these are all Udana, Prana, Vyana, Apana, and Samana. Because of the shortage of time, I am just going little fast. Balancing of Pancha Prana is also required here. So how we can control the emotions and energy centers with the 5 elements? We can use the 5 fingers, and by regulating the fingers with 5 elements, we can control the emotions, and we can align the universal flow of energy. Since fire is predominant among the 5 elements, being fire has the special property of converting from solid to liquid, liquid to gas, the fire plays the lead role. And in the 5 fingers, we have thumb represents the fire, index finger represents the air, space is represented by the middle finger, and earth is represented by the ring finger, and the water is by the small finger. That's why we used to wear in ring finger the metallic ring, because it is representing the earth. So by simply connecting the earth with the respective element, we can control the respective flow of that particular universal energy. Now, the technique involves 3 types. One is balancing, another is increasing or decreasing. Balancing is generally advisable to everybody. The increasing or decreasing are therapeutic mudras. So, as I already said, when we connect all the 5 fingers together, we have the empowering techniques possible. So empowering is mainly used for decision making. So how these energy centers can be balanced? For every chakra, the 7 chakras, we have a specific mudra used for regulating the flow of that particular energy and making the energy unblocked. So starting from the Muladhara chakra, we have the Prithvi mudra. As I already said, Prithvi mudra is the ring finger connected with the fire. Then we have Swadhisthana chakra, that is the sacral chakra, which is used for water element. So connect the water element with fire. And for Manipura chakra, which is navel chakra, any issues with the digestion system and all, we have to use the Agni mudra, which you can normally use even after having a heavy lunch also. Then the Anahata chakra or heart chakra, which is used for heart related issues. So here we will use a combination mudras, that is Apana Vayu mudra. And for eye chakra, that is the eyebrow chakra, we will use the Pran mudra, which is very effective. And the final one is Sahasrara chakra, that is Gyan mudra or Chin mudra. So using these mudras, we can control the energy flow in our body. So since psychoneurobix deals with 3 areas, I have already covered mudra, and the remaining 2 are sound and color. So human energy always responds very nicely to the sound waves because it has vibrations with high frequency. When mantras are recited, they trigger the production of endorphins and normally reduce the pain in the body by creating blissful situations. Similarly, when we visualize the colors, they tune our subconscious mind and unlock our superconscious mind. So already I discussed the colors when I talked about each energy center or energy chakra. So these 7 colors are blended with the mudras and mantra. So there are 7 mantras available. However, because of the paucity of time, I will tell only one mantra, that is the Omkara, which is the universal mantra. So already I discussed this slide. So what is the process of psychoneurobics, that is the mind neurobics, is first stage we have to go for long deep breath. Second stage we have to withdrawal of all the scattered energy, simply relaxing ourselves. And third stage is visualizing the chakras one by one with the colors. And fourth stage is specifically we have to take any particular issue with that particular color and mantra. So the science behind the mind neurobics is it leads to creation of ATP, optimum production of ATP, which is the primary source for energy of the individual. So my conclusion note is, It's a mind management method which plays a pivotal role in ensuring the holistic health and well-being. By application of simple techniques on day-to-day activities, we can incorporate these techniques in our day-to-day life, and we can keep ourselves physically and mentally fit. Thank you very much.
Yeah, that was an interesting presentation. I think more research and integration is required with the Indian knowledge that had existed in India for years with modern medical science, and to maybe this is a sort of introduction to that topic. So we now have Dr. Vel Murugan, CGM HR of GAIL, and he's going to present a case study. Uh, Over to you, Mr. Vel Murugan.
Good morning, respected chair and co-panelists and delegates. You all are attending the technical sessions. This session is very mind and mental health and well-being is the new session for all of you. I think now we got enough audience. Before that, there were a very few audience for this mental health. Why the mental health? It's not moving. This one, no? This one. Okay. So now we are talking all about mental health. Before 20 years, we don't talk about all these things. Why today we talk about the mental health? Because all about our lifestyle, all about our food habits and total environment and all those factors, root cause of the factors. So here you could see some surveys by Deloitte and also by Manas Wellness, and recent 23rd January in Economics Times, one article I posted here. So all these shows the mental health are being discussed due to the various factors, depression, anxiety, sleep issues, all these are happening. Especially they are telling about the people less than 30 years. The young people required more such kind of things. I can tell in GAIL we have a youth engagement platform wherein the young executives collaborate as a platform, and they are asking, sir, we need one counselor. So why they require the counselor? So that kind of question comes. So when we talk about mental health, why it is relevant? These are the factors. The workload pressure, that means you have tighter timelines or you have the multiple jobs on the hand, that leads to the job stress. Job stress means individual's capability and what are the requirements of the organization. So we are not able to cope up with that one. That is a stress that leads you to depression or anxiety. Then you could not manage with the personal or official life, and ultimately to the lack of motivation and loss of productivity. That means your efficiency comes down. So by considering all the factors, we thought of doing some research. So along with me, one young executive, Mr. Akash, is sitting here. We thought of doing some small research on this among the energy sector organizations and a few of them, so that we could contribute something on this mental health. So for this purpose, we took a research, qualitative research method that is called suggested by IN. What it does, some sampling basis, we conduct some semi-structured interviews. Those interviews are transcribed and that has been put in the Atlas TA software. It's a qualitative software. So that's keywords are done. So what we did, first we carried out the literature survey, detailed literature survey, and we found some constructs that is contributing to the mental health and well-being. After that constructs are developed, then those constructs are validated with the interviews with the companies and organizations. Why? That is what we ultimately try to develop a framework. That framework is, why that framework is required? Because based on that framework, we can assess the organization's base condition and we can suggest. That is what our ultimate aim of that. So we come out with the 5 factors. So one of the first factor is the flexible working arrangement. That means uh, traditional 9 to 5 hours to be challenged. That is what the importance of that, wherein we could come out with some 5 sub factors. People are opting for now remote work options like work from home and crowdsourcing, even gig options also will be there, and also some flexible workouts. Even if it is a 8.5 hours you have to do, that may be the 10 o'clock and 6:30, somebody come 11 o'clock. That kind of things, this is not we are telling, somebody may think of that it is not possible in PSUs, it is not, but this is all, people are young generation are required to, they are opting for that one. So we need to think, this is the hour we need to think. So compressed work weeks, they thought the 5 hours we want, 5 days of the week we need to work, but rest of the 2 days we need to completely free from the job. Is it possible? Then emergency flexibility protocol, one of the things we needed, that's about, suppose somebody got some last minute crisis that has to be performed, then what is the alternative available with the organization as the guidelines? That is one. Another is the job sharing. Job sharing is like buddy system, one job known by the 2 people. For example, in our PSUs we have the child care leave, and every organization give the child care leave. So in one female employee goes on the leave for some long time, so who is the alternative to take care of the job? So that kind of parallel system should be there. Then second factor comes out is the employee assistance programs. What is this employee assistance programs is nothing but it is the confidential support to the employees. Some of the things to be confidentially support, and next things is completely sponsored by the corporate organization, and that support should be available for 24 hours. That is what uh, emerged out from our research. So of course, stress and medical mental health workshops, that is to be conducted in general for the groups, and all these services to be available. And one of the factor comes, if somebody has gone to the long leave, this may be the study leave, this may be the some accident or injury. When they come back to the job, how to assimilate them or bring back to the job, that is another important thing. The fourth factor comes out is the stigma reduction. That is also to be taken with some case studies or storytelling or some. And the fifth factor comes out is the we needed to identify the high risk roles. Even in our organizations also, medical employees, the COVID time, there was a medical workers, all these happen, that is also to be identified, and for them we need to have some assistance programs. The third factor is the mental health and coaching. This is all take about the counseling, coaching, and that first factor is the specific coaching factor for organizational level. And it is not only mental, you need to make the good leaders also. So for leadership, coaching is the one of the concept, it's never come to our organization. Mentoring is happening, many of the organization we are following mentoring, but coaching, one-on-one coaching is not happening. That is that culture to be developed. Similarly, in the coaching, not only the external coach will come and tell you, the another fourth factor comes out is the peer coaching. That means somebody matured employee maybe will be there. So for example, sir, Mr. Ramesh has told about the mudras and all. So he can take the session to the people, make the people on that. That kind of peer coaching is there. And the fifth one is these programs all should have the progress or tracking. This factor comes out this way. Then again we are talking about counseling and coaching. Coaching is the bigger umbrella, and mental health coaching within that. I will show you in the framework. Here we are talking about workplace wellness. In GAIL we are doing the Spandan program. That Spandan program is every month Tuesday, second Tuesday we will have a 1 hour for the specifically for any activity. Employees will be assembled and we will conduct this program. And from this research, just I correlate with our existing practice to make it interesting. Then another thing is people want some integrated mental health programs. And another important factor came out is the confidential mental health leave policy. What is that? Suppose you identify one person is mentally sick due to any reason, he should not be isolated or something. He should get some sort of leave given, but it should be a very confidential way. It should not influence known to others. So these are the 5 factors come. And now the 5th factor is the empathetic work culture. So you all know culture of the any organization is very important. So with this empathetic work culture, we talk about the leadership training and recognition and reward programs. And the third one comes out is the employee resource groups. So among the employees, we need to make the employee resource groups so they can cooperate. What will happen in the health champions? In GAIL, we pick up the health champions. Those are the people that health champions, they will support among the employees. So whoever interested, they come as a health champion and they help to the other people. So that is called employee resource groups we are calling. Of course, diversity and inclusion is important. The 5th factor comes out is the conflict resolution framework. In organization, many conflicts are happening in day-to-day life. So they want some systematic framework for the conflict resolution. Some of you might have attended this course, difficult, crucial conversation. One of the course, if somebody has attended, it is talks about how you behave in the organization. Such kind of training or some sort of counseling is required. That is what comes out. So all these 5 factors, what we discussed so far, along with the sub factors, is the basis for the framework what we developed. So this is the framework. We can call this framework may have some limitations because we have studied some particular group and come out with some case study method. So what these frameworks tells is about the mostly it's a empathetic work culture. That is most important. That is a bigger one that makes the foundation pillar for any employee assistance programs. That deals with the 3 things: care, acceptance, and empathy. That is what we came out with that findings. With this foundation pillar, employee assistance programs, all these nowadays organization we are using, of course every organization, every PSUs they are doing many programs. It is not that people are not doing, but it is not on a systematic way, or it is not, there is no policy, there is no guidelines. So people feel that there must be a systematic guidelines and support at a organization level. That is what employee assistance programs we are talking about, the organizational level. Then within this employee assistance program, we are talking about coaching, counseling, and mental health coaching. This is for the individual level. So employee assistance program is the organizational level and coaching is the individual level, and all these should be supported with a flexible working arrangements. With this framework, we developed one case study protocol basis for the research that can be used as the assessment for questionnaire for assessing the organization, how they are doing that one. That is what the outcome of this whole research, and that systems can be used for that purpose. This is what the framework we developed. We compared this framework with the other frameworks with the literature review and the literatures whatever available. Based on that, we improved upon, then we compared also, we put in our research paper. So what is this? Then finally, we want to share some of the recommendations what we come out with that one. So mainly people wants the conducive atmosphere with no stigma or discrimination. That is most important. People want that. And we regularly conduct occupational health. Every year we do conduct our occupational assessment. People wants there should be a mental health assessment also to the part of that. This may be required, it is also required, and it is all, if it is a debatable, we can debate and discuss on those things. that is to be come out with our research. Then third one is uh, identified individuals get the flexible work arrangements. That is what the third one comes. It is not that everyone get the flexible work arrangements. Health champions, brand ambassadors, we already talked about. That is required for capability building in the organization in every vertical. Of course, all these objectives should be aligned with the organizational objectives. It is not that we are doing something, our organization's objective is something different. So we should have the continual assessment on that. As I already told you, mental assessment should be the part of the annual health checkups. And of course, the last point is the involving every individual stakeholders and community outside the organization also is very important. These are our recommendations from this research. Thanks a lot. Happy to share with you all. Thank you.
That was an excellent presentation, Dr. Velmurugan, on mental health and well-being. We now have a different topic that is coming up, that is related to safety, not like directly with mental health. Maybe it could have been the next session that follows, assets and infrastructure. But we'll hear Dr. Dipashri Nage. She's a DGM in Hindustan Petroleum Corporation Limited. She's an R&D center in Bangalore. I request her to please come and share her presentation.
Good morning, one and all present here. Thank you, session chairman. Uh, actually, after hearing such lot of interesting and different topics, I was wondering like how do I relate this? Yeah, but it is also something related to health of our assets, on which we all actually rely on. So it's more of reliability. So I'll be speaking about that. I mean, before I start my topic, let me first thank the organizers and my HPCL management who have given me this opportunity to be on the stage here on the dais. So the title is Holistic Approach to Mitigate Corrosion Under Insulation. Now, corrosion you would have heard of. It's something like a cancer, and it's uh, it's like overlooked. So it's not visible, and suddenly catastrophic damages happen. The cost of corrosion, it's huge. The implication, the consequences, and that is why it brings it into this forum probably. The losses in terms of economy, in the terms of production, then even and the reputation, and it also has legal implications. So when you look at corrosion, the most of the in case of refinery, the corrosion damages are huge, and it accounts to around 30 to 40% of 30 sorry the GDP. When it comes to the 4.2 percentage of GDP alone in India is uh, accounted to corrosion losses, whereas globally if you look at it is 3.4 percentage. So if you look at, the awareness is still missing. So corrosion, as you know, it's a natural phenomenon, and it occurs and it is there perennially, and more so in industry it accounts to 1.6 percentage of the losses. Then coming to the topic, yeah. So I'll be the outline of the presentation is the objective. What is corrosion under insulation? Consequences. What is the mitigation measure that we are trying to look at? Its evaluation methodology, because I'll be presenting one of the products which is indigenously developed in our R&D center. Then the scale of field trial, some of the glimpses, it advantages of this thermal insulating coating, and finally the conclusions. So India overall, as I mentioned, it accounts to around 4.2 percentage losses of GDP, and 30 percentage of which actually could have been saved if we take proper mitigation and corrective measures. And as you know, it's a natural process. It's degradation of a material, and it could be loss of the functional properties or the thinning of the material, and the high consequences with the undetected results can even lead to shutdowns of the process units or the entire facility, and it is a process safety hazard as well. Now, the title corrosion under insulation. Insulation is required for any of the assets, just mainly for conservation of energy, and from safety perspective for conservation for the safe touch temperature, which is guided in OSHA's as well as OISD norms also, as well as there is a API standard, API 538, which considers CUI, corrosion under insulation, and there is a standard ASTM C1055 which mentions what should be a safe touch temperature. So corrosion under insulation occurs when the water percolates or ingresses through the insulating material and it lands on the surface of the substrate, leading to corrosion. And this corrosion is extremely accelerated. It is almost 20 times accelerated. So if you look at the corrosion rates, it could be as high as 1.5 to 3 per year. That's huge, you know. When it comes to corrosion engineer, we give basically carbon steel with some corrosion allowance, and the corrosion allowance could be 3 So if you look at within a year, this could be lost account of corrosion under insulation. So 30 to in our own industry, since we are a coastal facility, the moisture laden, chloride laden moisture ingresses into this assets underneath the insulation, and this particular phenomenon occurs in the temperature range of -50 to plus 177 degree. So there has to be some measure wherein this can be detected, and since the inspection cost and maintenance costs are very high, it accounts to around 40 to 60% of the maintenance cost, and most of the replacements are required during every turnaround. Almost 35% of this incidences, 35 to 40% in our own refineries we are finding are accounted due to corrosion under insulation. So this is one of the external form of corrosion. Internal point of view, the corrosion can be controlled through a integrity operating asset in a integrity operating window. So this below in the picture you can see it's a schematic wherein the water is percolating through the insulation. The insulation, of course, CUI also could be controlled with the design mechanism, like selection of the proper insulation material, the jacketing, the cladding of it, and some people also introduce aluminum foil or stainless steel strip around the piping surfaces. But the application is little tedious. So consequences, if we look at, picture says million words rather than that. It is more like a cancer. If you see, it's something like you're looking into ICU after hearing the health talks before me, my co-speakers. So if you look at, it's percolating the insulation. Uh, you have the corrosion here, it could be uniform, it could be localized, and in stainless steel there is a form of corrosion called as stress corrosion cracking. So literally the material will catastrophically fail, and there are incidences where there are loss of lives also. Then uh, there is no other way, but then we have to control this. And it like as I mentioned earlier, the selection of insulation, the integrity of the system can be maintained by, and selection of the entire system, vapor barrier coating, then the overall cladding and all, and the operation point of view also. So if you look at here, the ruptures also occur within that, and the earlier picture of which I showed, the leakages and all, it can lead to a safety critical incidents. Now, almost 10% of the total maintenance cost just goes into replacement of this corrosion under insulation cases, which are accounted to the failures, and the inspections cost involved are also very high on painting for when it comes to corrosion under insulation. Also, the methodologies used for inspection are high because it is operating at a higher temperature, and we need to do brute forcing, that is removal of a window from the insulation through the jacket, and then again visually, or we have to use very expensive techniques such as thermography. So we were just thinking of what could be done. So there is a one-stop mitigation measure what we thought of, having only a coating which can take care of corrosion under insulation, because it will act as a barrier layer to the water ingress that is getting on the surface. So there is no interaction of the water with the corrosive species onto the material surface, and also it can also form a insulating coating. I mean, it will also act as an insulation layer. So HPTIC, that is HP thermally insulating coating, is to mitigate corrosion under insulation, and we have designed it to temperature of 150 degree only, since it is a epoxy based material, and it has the composition is such that it has a binder, or um, the carrier which is epoxy, and into it we have added fillers which are insulative in nature, and there are pigments and other additives which makes the system very robust. And if you look into the schematic above, uh, uh, without, I mean, the normal coating will just act as a barrier layer, and we are developing a tortuous path, so it acts as a corrosion resistant barrier, as well as it also has insulating materials. Those are mostly refractories, so it is something equivalent to the refractory material that we use for IRBs or conventional insulation material like the mineral wools and rock wool. However, this will be in the solid form, so this is 100% solid epoxy based formulation, and it also acts as an insulating material. So we have also measured the thermal conductivities and all that, which can retain the temperature. So it also gives energy conservation alongside corrosion resistance, and it's a total replacement for insulation system altogether. So the methodology adopted was, we started with design and development with the literature and all that, and this we arrived at this coating formulation, and then we went ahead with lab testing, and then finally the scale up and the field trials. So the spin-off benefit of this is corrosion under insulation mitigation method, personal protection, energy and thermal conservation, and it has really lower I mean the installation cost, because it's brush applicable and minimal surface preparation is required in this case, and it has low maintenance cost. So these are the evaluation methods, various techniques comprising of the electrochemical studies, then the adhesion test. The industrially accepted method norm is 5 MPa, but we are getting much more higher than that. Then the salt spray is for the severe C5M marine condition, that is also been done. Then for corrosion under insulation to occur, if it is cyclic in nature, the thermal cycles are there, then it is more accelerated. So we have also tested for 30 cycles in sodium chloride alongside with the temperature of 120 degree, and cooling it or quenching it to plus 23 degree. Then we have done hot water immersion test, that is at 90 degree, 5% sodium chloride. Then the thermal performances, actually physically only and visually we are measuring the temperature. So these are some of the results. If you see the impedance over a period of time, even at after 10 days, we are seeing the insulation, the resistance is as high as 10 power 10 omega. Then the addition test, as I told you, it is higher than, much higher than 5 MPa. Then salt spray result, if you see, after 1000 hours of salt spray also, there is no creepage or ingress of the moisture or corrosion occurring along the scribe that is put on the panel there. Then coming to the evaluation in the lab scale, we found that we could achieve as high as temperature difference of 102 degree when it comes to 200 degree. However, it's not a safe touch temperature. Therefore, we are restricting this coating to only 150 degree. If you see in the right side plot, the 60 degree is the safe touch temperature as per ASTM C1055, and the formulation from different formulations that we shortlisted gives us the temperature of 60 degree on the surface of the coating when the I mean the process temperature is 150 degree. So these are some of the field study photographs. It was applied on the condensate light in our own refinery, and we could find the difference. And after almost 1 year, we did a adhesion test on the site, and we found that it is still intact. So it is passing corrosion as well as adhesion test in operating condition. So USPs of this are, it's totally replacement or substitution of the conventional insulation material. It mitigates corrosion under insulation, and it is also highlighted in the API 583. This is the most effective method to for personal protection. And if you look at the cages are used generally for personal protection, but once you apply this TIC, if you look at the right bottom image, the schematic of it, if I want to have a mineral wool, it would be around 50 mm. So put together it is 100 mm, against which our coating will be only 10 mm. So there is 90% reduction in the standoff volumes, you know, and the heat on the surface will be same as that what we have with the 100 mm of insulation material. Yes, but the only thing is it has to be applied in multiple layers. Since one coat will hardly give you some 900 microns, so multiple number of coatings you have to, coating layers you need to apply. It is a very effective way to minimize inspection, because there are inspection techniques like simple UT probe, which wherein the fresnel zone can be normalized, and you can very well see the health of the asset inside it. Then it is very easy to apply. and minimal surface preparation. In fact, the picture which I showed in the previous slide, it was applied in a hot 120-degree operating line. So just the brush cleaning is also fine. It's highly surface tolerant, no need of primer. We applied this coating to say thickness of 7 mm, and at a 120 150 degree you will get a surface temperature of only 60 degree. So it's a safe touch. So these are all the USPs. And when it comes to health and environment, of course, this is a 100% solid, so the zero emissions, zero VOCs. So altogether put, I mean, it is safe to apply, and it also prevents this environmental losses. Now it's like for an engineer like me, it's and when we are in industry, it's really a great relief, because you're almost saving 40 percentage of your maintenance cost and uh, overall losses of external corrosion, which otherwise couldn't have been tackled. And we keep on redoing my maintenance tasks and inspection, spending a lot of money and all. So when you say, if you look at economics, it's, yeah, it's slightly expensive as compared to the conventional material. These are the some of the figures. Like in industry, most of you must be versed to. It takes only 2 rupees per square inch. Then why should be I applying this TIC of yours? But if you look at the advantages, I mean, notwithstanding, I have already mentioned about it. So the cost of HPTIC is almost 3 to 4 times higher than that of a conventional IRB. And if we have a stainless steel or aluminum foil on the surface, then it is almost 1.5 times. That's it. So it's a transition of trauma to transition, and it's a great relief for us. Thank you. With this, I'd like to thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Deepashri. So, from mental health-being to well-being and equipment, it's a product developed by HP GRDC for insulation, protection, coating under insulation. So I request all of you to give a big hand for all the speakers. Wonderful presentations, wide variety of topics covered.